Tell folks to refresh their screens, and I have a whole new feed.
A different feed than the whoopsie.
Yep. Got a few adjustments here. Well, hi everyone. I'm sorry about this once again, but well, you'll have this with live free entertainment. I see one person made it over. I'll just sit and wait here, and I'll watch more people show up. Refresh your screens. You can't hear me now. There, another one. Mark Goodson in the house. He made it. This is all recording now, and I'm not saying anything. That's terrible. So when you watch this on the replay, it'd be pretty awesome to see me sitting here like a dumbass doing nothing. I'm going to give this a second for people to get over. There's method to my madness. I foolishly attempted to stream on 2 platforms, on YouTube and on Facebook. And on Facebook, I appeared, and on YouTube, I wasn't there. So much for that. Hacking away here. Also, bear with me. I have all kinds of show links I was going to put in the description. I'll do that later. We'll try to get everybody over. It's everybody over. Just raise your glass if you're over. I'm hacking away here. Welcome to, I think we got 15 people in there. That's good. Is everybody over? Did my wife make it over? My wife is over here.
I'm here.
And she made it over there. All right, she's here and she's there. I'm hacking up a storm here again. Kevin Keller, $15. Thank you very highly. Here's what I tried to pull off. So, it's episode 34. That's what it is. And you can see now I'm sitting down. I don't know why I didn't think of this way back before, because this isn't really stand-up comedy. It is something else. And tonight is a casual hangout and get liquored up. I got some whiskey in a glass here. I'll tell you what's going on is when people do these kinds of shows, they usually run like 10 weeks, and then they take a little break, and then they do another 10 weeks. It's like a season. Me, like a dumbass, I've been going for like 34 weeks, and I am totally burned out. I'm out of shit. I'm out of ideas. I have notes here. So I'm going to use my notes here. And again, this is fucked up because I'm seeing myself all over the place. I'm going to have to run a lot of tests. I'm going to try to get back on both platforms because I need a bigger audience, and it seems like we're going to be stuck here a long, long time. So, as I said before, your donations help keep the lecture going, but obviously they don't keep me any smarter than I am. I'm very excited. Quite possibly my only show of the year is December 11th. Over at Music Fest Cafe, at Steel Stacks, at Arts Quest. Yingling is sponsoring that show, but not this show. I hope I was allowed to say that at my live chat here. They have reserved table seating. Tickets look expensive. It's $25 to $65, but it's basically $25 is a table for 2, and so on and so forth. And I think $65, you can have up to 6 people there. You cannot buy a $25 table and bring fucking 6 people in there. It's priced accordingly. It's selling fast, so get your tickets. I can't help you out. And again, not to be the harbinger of doom, but it's quite possibly the only live shows for me for the rest of the year. Thanksgiving Eve, up at the Cinema and Draft House in West Hazleton, not to be confused with Hazleton proper. Dunzo, not happening this year. Day after Christmas in Sellersville, not happening as far as I know. I'm trying to do something at Sellersville Theater, maybe January, February, but nobody knows if we'll be allowed to go outside then. Possible show at Penn's Peak, January, February. I don't know. New Year's Eve show at the Emmaus Fire Company #1. I don't see it happening. I just do not see it happening. So here we are. I'm ranting and raving. I'm worked up. Like I say, I'm burned out. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to be off for Thanksgiving weekend. And then the following week, I should do a normal stream on the Saturday night. And I'm definitely going to try to do to both platforms. That's great. There's a big sticker coming in here. I can see the money. Wahoo, $20 orange sticker, but my old eyes can't see who gave it.
How goes Pennsylvania cook?
Thank you very much for that, Luke. So then the Arts Quest weekend, which is the 11th, I will be off. And then I'm probably going to take a little break in December because I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. The holidays are kind of crazy. And as my wife pointed out, I get my comedy from running around in the world and doing stuff. And I haven't really been able to run around in the world and do stuff. And there's only so many humorous anecdotes I can make about running into an opossum on recycle night. So that's something to deal with here. And I'm not going to abandon this. I'm going to be doing sporadic this is and that's. I'm definitely going to try to get back my Facebook Live. But that was fucking weird tonight. Streaming on 2 platforms, I don't know how that's going to work out. I still have some shameless self-whoring merch right here. If you donate money, I'll just send you some shit. Fuck you in a bucket of goo. Bumper stickers. There's a couple of keychains left. Raymond, yes, the one on the radio. Oh, there. I'm looking at me all over the place. And these are kind of cool in a weird way. It's a window sticker. You can stick them on your car if you are kind of people who go any place. Let's see here. Bump. Let's see here. I'm chewing on a cough drop. Like I said, I got a whiskey tonight. I didn't drink it yet. We should turn this into a donation drinking sipping game. If I say something funny and make myself laugh, I got my own smiley face that I can do like that because I don't know how to do emojis. There's a opossum. Oh! Let me chew up this cough drop first. So, my lovely wife, who's been so awesome about all this stuff, sitting in the room here, not behind the curtain, that might fuck me up. Sparky looked at this new setup earlier, about 15 minutes before I made my first attempt to go live, and she's looked around, she's like, yeah, this is fucked up, I'm not coming in here tonight. So maybe she'll get worked up as I get worked up, and we'll see Sparky swooping in here. But my stories, I gotta get rid of this cough drop. My stories come from shit out in the world, right? I really miss going to New York City. We are theater geeks, and I'll tell you something here. My wife, who is the opposite of me, if you want the most fun time in the world, go up to New York City with her and go to John's Pizza on 46th Street, I think it is. And it's expensive. It's a $14 apple teeny. And my wife, she will launch into entertainment that is far superior to anything I could come up with. This is very important. She does not get drunk on that appletini. It's a fucking mystery. She gets hyper focused and thinks way faster than I can keep up with her. And I believe if she put her mind to it, she could actually fly a plane. And it's a happy, fun time. And one of the last sessions we had up there, like 2 months later, we went back into John's, and the waiter took one look at my wife and said, "Oh, appletini," right? I'm not making any of this shit up. It's a lot. We have a lot of fun. I'll tell you a few stories about running around up there. Man, I miss going to New York with all my heart. So I can drive us to New York probably almost in my sleep. I've had weeks when we ran around, took our daughter up to New York. We might go up 3-4 times a week. We figured out, our daughter figured out how to see shows cheap. $28-30 tickets to go see a Broadway show. Those days are gone. But once I'm in the city, I am fucking lost. I am clueless. I can get lost just walking around with my family because I don't know where the hell I am. I can just, well, somehow my wife can see everything clearly in New York. She knows everywhere we're going. She knows where all the streets are. She knows where all the places are, this way, that way. My daughter's the same way. Me, somebody has to be in charge of me. So now I'll give you an example. Our daughter, I took her up to audition for a show, which I can't go into the audition, so I'm bumming the streets in New York. That's a very dangerous thing, and this would be down in the neighborhood near Madison Square Garden, where New York splits the streets. It's a fucking asshole system. The numbered streets go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way. And I don't know if it's avenue or street, or I don't know what the hell it is, but I know that I will possibly get lost. So I have the address written down of where our daughter is auditioning, and I'm walking around, and I just got fucking lost, and I didn't have the slightest idea. And I hailed a cab, right? I took the address out and said, "I'm lost, take me back there." I got in the cab, and the cab driver was at a red light, and when it went green, he drove like a bat out of hell, son of a bitch bastard, 4,000 miles an hour, and came to a screeching halt. I was right around the fucking corner, and I had to pay him for this, and then I tipped him yet. And I tipped him way too much because I said, if you're going to be driving around here, keep an eye out for me, and if I look like I'm lost, just pick me up and bring me back here. And that happened one other time because I was on the street for like 5 hours because auditions take fucking forever. I'll be fine, and I try to remember shit. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she knows exactly what's going on. Green appletini. We park at the Port Authority. It's so much fun there. It's a little pricey, but when you leave New York, the Port Authority, you know where all the buses go up? You have like a private entrance into the Lincoln Tunnel to get your ass out of there. It's fucking magical. So then when we park there, then we go down to Theater District. We got to take cabs everywhere we go. We're going someplace in the village, a weird theater that I don't know where the hell it is. And I have that written down and instructions. My wife had the green appletini, and we're having a meeting on the sidewalk. I said, whatever you do, don't hail a cab yet because I'm not ready. I got to go over this stuff. In a millionth of a second, my wife, who says nothing out in public, taxi, boom. We get a taxi in like fucking, in 3 seconds. Like, you can't hail a fucking cab in 3 seconds in New York. I don't know how she did it. Taxi, I'm in the cab. I didn't even realize I was in a fucking cab, for crying out loud. So that's an appletini story there. There's more of those right there, but that is a fun time. So we have fun is the point, and that's where all my stories come from. It's adventures. I'm not really having any adventures right now. Let's see here. She said, hail the cab. Cab driver lost. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to tell you a few stories about going up to New York because I miss it. Again, somehow we could see shows for free or really cheap. Shakespeare in the Park, across from one of the museums, and that's up in the higher end numbers up there, 100, whatever the hell it is. We saw Hair in the park for free, actually, before it went to Broadway. It was the same cast, and one of the leads in there, Jonathan Groff, who was in Spring Awakening, got to be friends with us because I stalked him at the stage door Spring Awakening. That's a story coming up in the next few minutes here. We were just, my daughter and I were just walking into the park, right? Just walking into the park, and Jonathan Groff just happened to be like right next to us, and then his brother was with him, and some of his friends cast from Rent were also walking around with him, and apparently somehow I was famous. I was being introduced to the Rent cast by Jonathan Groff as the legend Amish comic. Okay, so that was badass there. And then this is really inside shit. If you do any acting and you're like a background person, sometimes they want you to say shit, right? But you can't really say it out loud, but a little out loud, but not too out loud. So when people see you, it looks like you're saying stuff, and then people go peas and carrots, all this and that shit. Turns out, Jonathan Groff and 3 other members of Hair were saying Amish comic as their silly banter. I was so fucking honored. This went on the whole fucking season of Hair performances. Jonathan Groff and it's 2 or 3 other hippies are going, it's the moon, Amish comic. Oh, it's the moon, Amish comic. It's the moon, Amish comic. I fucking love New York. I really miss going up there. So many fun stories about that. Shakespeare in the Park, going up there. Here's another. And these New York stories are going to be all over the place. You used to be able to get tickets cheap. That's the thing. And I'm not afraid to drive to New York. Like I say, we could go up 3-4 times a week, depending on what the bargains are. TDF member. That's a whole nother story. We went to see Footloose with the original cast. Now, the lead girl was phenomenal. She was just absolutely incredible. The whole cast was great. At the intermission, my wife came out of the ladies' room and she said, some ladies in there were, and she whispers that some ladies in there were like really mean and vicious about the lead lady, and I don't know what they were thinking. She's fabulous. What were they saying in the men's room? Nobody fucking talks in the men's room. You could hear a pin drop in there. There's this conversation going on in the fucking ladies' room. Are you out of your mind? No guy talks in the fucking men's room. You could hear a fucking pin drop. We can't pee if somebody's talking to us, all right? And that wasn't even Green Apple Martini night. So there's that one right there. So during these times of going up there, summertime sucks and have no money. I would have a July Penn's Peak show, and I get a metric fuck ton of money. First thing we would do, head right up to New York, and this was kind of like, there was computers and online and all that shit, but you mostly had to go up there to get your tickets. So they have a TKTS discount board, and that guy was so used to seeing me that when it was my turn, he would close the booth and say we're closed. Just dicking with me. And I'd bang on that thing. Come on, I want my money back. You didn't even pay for a ticket yet. So we hadn't seen anything for a long time. And we went up to see fucking anything. We call it playing the big board. Let's go up and see what's on the big board. There were so many things up there. We figured there must be something good. Well, on this particular day, we hadn't seen a show in like 3 or 4 months. And that's terrible for us. The only choice was Frost Nixon, right? I take my wife and daughter, who've been starving to death, no money, no entertainment. Let's go to New York and see a show. It's a play about Richard Nixon confessing his sins on the Frost show. It's based on the real interview and all that shit, and it was actually pretty entertaining. Not to rag on my geezers, who I love, they had the hearing things going on, and it's a play. So there's no music, right? And so Nixon would be up there going, I am not a crook. And then the lady went real loud in the theater, I don't like this play at all. That's fucking badass. See? That's this is the kind of shit that happens that where I can tell stories where I can't fucking tell them anymore, right? So now here's the one too. We became completely obsessed with Spring Awakening before it opened. And I believe, I know for a fact, our daughter, I call her my daughter, our daughter was 15, and the show was a little naughty, but it's Broadway, so it's like Broadway naughty, right? So we got tickets to go up there. My daughter and I were going up there, and we had a Jeep, an old Jeep Wrangler that was never meant to drive up to New York City, a real fucking old one. We went up there, and the fucking thing, those are bare bones when you buy them, like the radiator's not protected or anything, and it hit a stone, and the stone knocked the radiator out on the way to Spring Awakening, and we didn't get to go, and it took us 9 fucking hours to get home. We got trapped in scary neighborhoods. I had to run into the Asian food markets and get 19 bottles of fucking Gatorade and chunk our way all the way back to fucking Pennsylvania, and our daughter was crying, and I said, we'll be okay. And she said, it's not that. I'm just sad that we're not going to see Spring Awakening. I said, don't worry. Well, we'll get home and we'll take the shitty car up tomorrow, because that was the good car. And then we did. Then we went back up there and we saw Spring Awakening, and I became totally obsessed with this thing. And then there was MySpace in those days, and the Spring Awakening guy, one of the producers, was on MySpace, and I terrorized him. He told me about the most amazing thing. If you've never been to a Broadway show, just go to one. Tickets are $130, whatever. There were stage seats to sit on an actual fucking stage or Spring Awakening for like $28. I paid $80 a ticket to see fucking Frost Nixon. We went, my daughter and I, we ditched my poor wife so many times. But she didn't want to see it that much. Well, she did, but we ditched her. You only get 2 stage seats. 28 fucking bucks. We saw it way too many times. Now the stage seating was amazing because there's audience on both sides of where the show's going on. But they don't tell you this. There's 2 or 3, there's empty seats, couple empty seats over here and some over there. And some of the people sitting that look like us, well, nobody looks like me, were actually in the cast. And then when the thing got going, a knucklehead next to you just fucking stand up and start singing. And I thought that I could sing along with this thing too. I was wrong about that. But luckily I didn't try to belt a high C or anything like that. So, totally obsessed with the show. Absolutely incredible. So, becoming friends with the guy's name was Pun on MySpace. I was asking about all this stuff, and he said it's tough because these are actually kids. The cast was at like age 16 to 20, and then 2 adult roles, and that was it. The music was gorgeous, and our daughter actually went up there to audition for it. So he told me that it was tough on these kids, and if you stage door them and stuff, try to talk to them like they are people and not characters, because people are fucking assholes and they call them by their character names and all that shit. And then we watched a video backstage, and it seems like the cast was obsessed with candy. So right before we went up, my daughter and I, for stage seats, we drove to Port of Clinton, the peanut shop. You know where that candy shop is? And we got a metric fuck ton of candy. I put it in a box. I cartooned the whole fucking cast, and I put myself in there, a picture of me. I said, Amish is going to be in the house, on stage, whatever, in a couple of nights. So these kids got this big fucking box of candy, and I didn't know nothing. We're sitting on stage, right? And when it starts, these kids are all really serious German. It's boys' school and girls' school. And they come out and they're real strict, and they have these mad German faces on. And they walked past me. The boys walked past me when they were introduced, right? And the show was just starting and everything was quiet. You could hear a pin drop. And one of them turned and looked at me and said, "Thanks for the candy." What the fuck? And then the show started. I couldn't even say anything. Then the girl next to me, who was actually in the show when the first act ended, she said to me, when my daughter next to me, she said, "Oh, the cast is really excited that you're here. And they said, thank you for the candy. And if you're not busy and you want to come backstage, they'd love to have you backstage." And then the show started, and I couldn't even fucking say anything about that. I'm sitting there, "Oh yeah, I'm way too fucking busy. I gotta drive back to fucking Pennsylvania. I gotta get back in that fucking tunnel." So then we got back there, and that was kind of fucking amazing. And I think I told this story before, but Tom Holtz, I think his name is. Mm-hmm. He was in Animal House. He's an old hippie now. He looks like me. He was one of the producers. Amadeus Mozart. Thank you, wife. Amadeus Mozart. He was backstage and he was looking at me, eyeballing me, and because I'm a dick, I didn't recognize him at all. And he's going, "You look familiar. Why do you look familiar? How do I know you?" I said, "Well, perhaps you caught one of my shows at the Beaver Run Rod and Gun Club in Pennsylvania." What the fuck did I know? I didn't even fucking know. Then that's when we met Jonathan Groff, and he said to my daughter, "What do you do?" And she said, "I'm doing theater and singing." He goes, "Well, you should audition for this show. You got the look for it and all that." And she goes, "Well, I'm not old enough. I'm only 15. He goes, "Jonathan Groff goes to my daughter." Lie about your age. Huh? Is that fucking amazing? It's absolutely incredible. So we really got to be, I could do a whole show on Spring Awakening stories, for crying out loud. So we got to be friends with the cast. They're absolutely amazing. The show's brilliant. It rocks. It kicks fucking ass. There's a song in there called "Totally Fucked," and the lead guy who won a Tony Award, John Gallagher Jr., we went to see his band, Old Springs Pike, which is now Spring Standards, because he went to stay with Broadway. I said, incredible, but there's one, I hate to pick a nerve at you here, but this is all, stage door and shit. You are off stage when they sing "Totally Fucked." It's the most amazing song. There's a moment you're fucked, and this goes on, and they're all singing, they're dancing on "Totally Fucked," and they fuck you up. And we had a big sing along at Penn's Peak a few years ago. I had the audience sing "Totally Fucked." Does it bother you that you don't get to sing "Totally Fucked"? He goes, "Fuck yeah, it does. I hate that. I've grown to hate that song." But what do you do? Because your character's dead. What do you do when "Totally Fucked" is totally fucking without you? He said, "Well, since I'm dead, that's when I go into your candy box and eat all the best candy, because I'm fucking dead. I'm the only one there. I'm their bucket. I'm dead. I'll just blame it on a fucking ghost." That is a true story. I got to be known for almost like the Candy Man. They would see me at the door and they'd say, "Where's the candy?" Skylar, if you used to play football in high school and then you got in the theater, he said, "Amish, where's the candy?" I said, I gave it to the new cast member as like a welcome thing on the sidewalk, stage door. 50, 60 people around, some of them kids, and Skylar turns to Jesse and he goes, "Jesse, what the fuck?" And then he runs out off instead of autographing to go get fucking candy that I fucking brought. All right, so now we got stage seats another night. Well, I'm sitting there. Skylar, the football guy, show's ready to start. He sits right next to me, and we're playing it cool because I'm not supposed to know he's in the show and all that shit. And the opening piece of music is very serious, very somber, very sad. It sets the mood. And right before the first notes play, Skylar punches me so fucking hard in the leg and sat there smirking. And I don't know how he knew that I wouldn't scream, but I didn't. All right? How about that? That's a great story right there. And then when you know the show so well and little shit goes wrong, sometimes it's kind of funny, and really only the cast knows, and people that are nuts like me that have seen it a lot. So cast members that I knew on the other side of the stage sitting there, something crazy happened, in the show. I don't know if a shoe fell off or a bell rang once and it was supposed to ring twice. I don't know. But the cast was all trying desperately not to break character and laugh. They were, the whole fucking cast on stage and in the seats are all going. And for reasons I couldn't tell you, they all of them looked at me. They didn't turn their heads, but they were like. And I broke up. Then I started laughing. And then they all fucking started laughing because I fucking broke. And at the stage door for the candy, they go, Amish, what the fuck? You broke. And then that made us all laugh. Well, I'm not in the fucking show. What does it matter if I break or not? See? This is what we have now because I don't have stand-up comedy to share with you. Spring Awakening Stories was absolutely incredible. See, there's got Skylar, Punched, Jesse, What the Fuck? Oh, okay, so there's 2 adults in the show. One man and one lady. And they play all the adult male and respective female roles. And they all look the same anyway, they just have different characters. It doesn't matter. So if you've seen True Detective, season 1, the psychopath in that. On the tractor. The fucking crazy serial killer on the fucking tractor. If you haven't seen it, I just fucking ruined it for you. He's a scary motherfucker. Glenn, something or another, was doing the male roles. And after that particular show, he came up to me, real scary. And he didn't smile or anything. He came right up to me and he goes, you know, grown-ups like candy too. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. What kind of candy do you like? Taffy. I like taffy, he said. And then he fucking stormed off. And then, a month later, or whenever we came back there, I went and got some taffy at that Clinton peanut shop. Not little taffy. He's fucking with me. I got him one of the big old fucking taffies from the olden days that's like a fucking yardstick. And I had it hidden in my coat pocket. And he came stage dooring. I'm stage dooring. And he came walking. A mad face. He saw I didn't have nothing for him. And I sneakily reached into my coat pocket. And I whipped out this big fucking hunk of taffy. And I went, Glenn, taffy slap. And he fucking caught it. Didn't hit him in the side of the head. And he grabbed it. Then he went, thank you. And he fucking stormed off. These are the stories that you don't get. Because I'm not allowed to fucking go anywhere anymore. So, there was another one too. We don't like when people take pictures in the theater. It's rude. The click, it fucks up the show. It's just a bad, horrible thing. And the stage manager for that show sometimes also ushered. And we were complaining to her after the first break, at the intermission, people were taking pictures all over the place. And if you could yell at them, because I've seen you yell at people, and if you could really let them have it, that would be fantastic. And she goes, well, it would be my honor. And then she went over, and the secretary was taking a picture. She goes, hey, no taking pictures in the theater. Can't you read? You could be thrown out of here for that, all right? And they went. And then she turned to us and she went, little bow. See, my stories really don't have a point or an end to them. Let's see, taffy slap. And then this is only funny in my world. The adult role. It's another famous lady in there. I can't even remember her name, but you know all these people. Christine something. And the one guy who was the lead man guy, he was on 24. Was he on 24? Remember that guy? But anyway, these are serious actors, right? These are serious actors. And somebody came up to this girl afterwards to stage door, and they were getting autographs, signing playbills, and she said to her, could you sign this as your character name? And she said, I'd be delighted to. And she signed it. I watched her do it. She said, all the adult female roles. And that was fucking it. That's fucking funny to me. I don't give a fuck if you think that's funny or not. So that's Spring Awakening. I could do.
When you saw Tom Holtz backstage.
I told that. Yeah, I told that one. I don't know how you missed it. I think my wife's into the liquor. I'm gonna have a whiskey here, right there. Here's to me. I'm not abandoning live streaming. I just got to regroup here. A drinking game. I should give myself $5 for having a whiskey. I'm sorry about the slow start here. I try to stream 2 platforms. That's the story I told already. Okay, check this out. The Broadway lottery shows had it. You go, you hang out at the show. You put your name in the hat, and they yank the ticket. And then if they call your name, you can buy like fucking $25 seats. Not for any show, but just for like right in the front. The seats in the front kind of suck. There was a show called Drowsy Chaperone, and it was mainly one different celebrity who went nuts in his living room, and he'd listen to musicals, and they'd all come to life in his apartment. But he was like the glue of that show, and Bob Saget, who can't sing, and he didn't really have to sing because this shit all happens around him, took over that role. And I didn't see it, but we were trying to win tickets and all that shit. And then when he came out, as people wanted his autograph and shit, he said this. He goes, if you saw the show last night, it's my first week, and I don't know all the lines yet. And a fan mocked him and said, dude, this is Broadway. You have to know the fucking lines. Let somebody make a dick out of Bob Saget. All right, so that's good right there. Oh, I'll be stuck in New York all night long. I fucking miss New York so hard. I really do. The rent lottery guy was the absolute best. He was like a New York, Brooklyn thug. And so you put your name in the hat, and you can get 1 or 2 tickets. That's it. When they yank them, if you're not there, fuck you in a bucket of goo. You lose. But people are nitwits. I'm sorry, they're fucking nitwits. It's 2 tickets. That's it. If you win, and everybody wants to choke you because then they didn't win. And this lady, he called her name, and she's standing there all spaced out, and he could tell who it was. And she goes, would it be possible for me to get like 5 tickets? And he went nuts. He said, look at all these fucking people here. They all know the fucking rules. You won 2 fucking tickets. They all won 2 tickets. They all know if they win, they can't have 5 fucking tickets. Do you know how rude and disrespectful it is for you to stand there and go, now, ba-boomsa, Alexa, stop. My alarm went off, but I started like fucking 90 minutes late. So if you have any place to go, just go. In the link in the live stream, it didn't happen. I put links in there for tickets for Steel Stacks. I put links in there to donate money to me. I put links in there for you to shop at our daughter's Night Waltz Upcycled. But I never got that stream going. So all my shameless self-promotion shit, it's all fucking gone. If I can drop it in the links, then I'll do it. A friend of mine punched me in the arm because she swears it isn't true. But I'm telling you that it's true. When we go to New York, gay waiters love me hard. They just do. They do. And apparently I flirt with them a little bit, and then it gets them all worked up. And I told my friend this, and she punched me in the arm. She says, fucking get over yourself. What is this with punching me all the time? These people fucking punch me. But the one in particular, I made little goo-goo's eyes at him, and then I was looking at the menu, and this was back when I ate meat, and I went, I'll just have the biggest steak that there possibly is, and a baked potato. And he went, oh man, fucking A. And I think I had shorts that were cut out a little bit, and too, that was pretty slutty of me. My wife was there; she didn't care. My jeans had a hole in them. Yeah, I think that's what did it. He was looking at my leg. See, she knows that. My wife knows that man was looking at her husband's leg, and she probably told me I wouldn't wear them holy jeans up to New York to see a Broadway show. I mean, what the fuck's wrong with you? So that's right. He was looking at my leg. Good memory there, wife. That's the good one. Let's see here. But when we travel, we really have fun. I miss traveling. People think that I'm afraid to go do anything. I want to do all the fun shit. There's an amusement park when we were riding roller coasters like fucking lunatics in Connecticut. I don't know what it is, Lake Compounce or whatever the hell it is. We went there when our daughter was still in school, and like school started tomorrow, and we tried to do something fun for the end of the summer. My wife goes, this beautiful woman over here goes, we've never been to Connecticut. Son of a bitch. So I drove to fucking Connecticut on the day before school was going to start again just to ride this amazing roller coaster. Unbeknownst to me, in the park, they had free soda. I see everybody's walking around with these soda cups, and everyone was like, I asked them, how comes everybody has like 19 sodas? This seems a little odd. Because sodas are like $5-6 for a fucking amusement park soda. And then Peckerhead said, oh, the park has free soda everywhere. I lost my fucking mind. Free soda! I ran like a motherfucker. I didn't care about the coasters. I didn't care about nothing. I went into every fucking I came out of the first one, and my wife and daughter were laughing. I got like fucking 9 sodas. I couldn't even fucking drink them all. I'm screaming, free soda! Yahoo! People were coming up to me. Do you want free soda? No, this is mine. Go fucking get your own free soda. But these were all my stories come from. We got 1 year we caught it really good. If you were at an amusement park at the tail end of the year, you could buy a pass. I think we were down the south somewhere. I don't know where the hell it was. What was it?
Richmond, Virginia.
Somewhere.
Paramount. It was.
Paramount. Okay, and it was like $55 for a day pass, or $59 for a season pass. That would be good the whole fucking next year, and then a whole bunch of parks would be fucking included with that, right? So down there where we were staying, the shitty hotel, right, that we could just walk to the amusement park, for reasons I couldn't tell you. I'm now apparently a vegetarian too, but my wife and daughter were both vegetarians. It was the South. Apparently everything you ordered came with a side of free meat. Like, I'm not fucking making this up. You did a small orange juice. What kind of meat would you like with that? Meat? What are you fucking talking about? You did meat and jam. They had jam everywhere, jams and jellies everywhere, meat with everything. And because I'm silly and immature, there is a song stuck in my own head to this day. Meat and jam are big in the South, big in the South, big in the South. Meat and jam are big in the South. Now I fucking did it to myself again, son of a bitch bastard. When we travel, we have fun. Oh, somebody last week, I don't know who, asked where do I get my hats. I got them at Goods, right next to Shady Maple, and they have gotten really fucking expensive. I've been buying these hats my entire career. I keep them. This fucker was going way back when. It's showing the wears. In the early to mid 90s, this hat cost me like $50 back then, and they had a bunch of hats, and I really didn't need them. It's really hard to wear out a hat, but I do it. And then I didn't get them for quite a few years, and the price fucking tripled. This one on my head was $150, but I needed a fucking hat, and I'm very anal about my hats. Back in the days when I could go have shows with people, like after the show, they'd be like, let me try your hat on. No, I'm a little particular about my hat. And why the fuck would you want to put a hat on that was on my fucking sweaty ass head for 300 fucking shows, dripping in fucking sweat? And why the fuck would you trust my hat of all things? And they'd want to swap hats. I don't want to wear your hat. And they can really fucking get mad at me. Don't be a dick. I'm not being a dick. I'm just being fucking reasonable, all right? For crying out loud. So there's a hat story for you. Boom roasted. Steel Stacks commercial. We got to get this thing sold out right now because I'm fucking nervous wreck. You peckerheads have been nice with the donations, but realistically, they're not paying anybody's electric bill. I appreciate the money that comes in, but really, and I wouldn't expect you to support me, but we really basically are covering what would be considered an Amish person's electric bill. Not that I'm complaining. It really means a lot to me, but I have to do a lot of other things. So I need that show sold out. I'll be working on my podcast. I'll be working on Patreon. I'm going to be doing live streaming again, but I need to have some fucking adventures to tell you, all right? Let's see here. Oh, well, I got you here. Show's basically over, and again, I'm seeing myself on a time delay. Do you have any questions for me?
Somebody said that Holiday World has free soda too. We've been there, right?
Holiday World. Did somebody? Oh, Holiday World. Who said that? All right. Holiday World, free soda.
Amy G.
Okay. Story coming up. Holiday World. Okay. If you don't know, Holiday World is, I don't even fucking know. It's in Indiana. It's in another time zone, right? And so the year after we got the deluxe passes, the tour, the Paramount parks, that's where we went out to Ohio, and we hit a couple different parks out there. And my daughter, our daughter, who's way smarter than me, said, you know, we're only 3 hours away from Holiday World, and this is the closest we will ever be. And I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. So we got up early the next day to go to Holiday World, and we drove through 3 different states, one just a teeny little nip of Kentucky, or I don't know what the fuck it was. And I didn't realize we were going through time zones, and I want to get there early so we get all the bang for our buck. It's an amazing park. What is it? Park is different holiday themes, Christmas, Halloween, all over the park. So when we got there, it was fucking closed. It was like I was Chevy Chase and fucking Wally World. Unfucking believable. Now before I could go nuts and pull a gun on John Candy and make him take us on the fucking roller coaster, it had been brought to my attention that the time change meant we got there before the park opened. You see, you can't make shit up like this. This is all the stuff that I miss now.
And free soda.
And free soda. There's free soda right there. Here's the whiskey. Any questions? But if you have any place to go, just go. I'm really trying to get back into presenting something of a show. I don't know what it is. Let's see here. It's weird because when I stop to read the questions, then I see up there I look real serious, my reading face, and then I'm down here, I'm still happy, and then I make a serious face down here. You need to find a way to come back to Sellersville Theater. I will answer you in person and not in the chat, because if I type, that's going to be, look how funny is this if I go like that. Let me try it. That's not funny at all. So, Sellersville Theater is a dagger. Day After Christmas is something that I have loved and looked forward to for I don't know how many years running now. I thought it up, and I pitched that idea to them knowing that it works, because I did it many years ago at Days Inn. I didn't want to do it, and them knuckleheads talked me into it. He said, day after Christmas, everybody's fucking sick of their family. It'll sell. They're like, Christmas has been a lot of fun, but we gotta get the fuck out of here. So Sellersville did it on a dare, because they are normally closed then. And when it worked, they were fucking stunned, and we've been doing it every single year for probably like 3 or 4 years now, but we're not doing that now. But I do anticipate talking with them about doing something early in the year, but it's too weird to try to sell a show like that now. We don't know, but love Sellersville Theater. Met Chris Barron down there. Chris Barron opened for me at fucking Sellersville Theater for $150, and I know this because I had to pay fucking half of that. He did it just to play before a live audience. That's fucking badass right there. Let's see, any other questions in here? Somebody says I have one of your worn hats. You must have bought that, because I auctioned a few of them off on eBay because someone has this hat, or you stole it. That's the only thing that's come up there. I was doing, summer sucks for comedy, I was doing what I thought up. You have to really when you say shit, you gotta really fucking fine tooth it because people take it literally everything you say. I was doing what I call the Pass the Hat tour. Now, what that was is basically you would hire me for your picnic, your yard, or whatever for a ridiculously cheap fee, and then we would pass the hat to bump that money up. But people thought they could keep the hat, and the hats are fucking $150. So the hat was never part of that fucking deal, and other people thought that's how you could hire me, just for passing the hat. And so I was getting calls from fire halls and theaters that said, oh, we want to book you for this Pass the Hat tour. It's Madison Square Garden, and then we'll pass the hat around, never you can put in a nickel. No, that's not how it fucking works. So there's the Pass the Hat tour story. Let's see. Oh, there it is. It used to be autographed. See, I know who these people are now. I know who you are. You have a weird handle on there. Well, you have to bring it to another show someday and get me to re-sign it. That's all. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think these people that have the hat sent us a big milk jug for a gift.
Really
So I
nice.
got the right person. That milk jug, a big fucking milk jug, is still out on the front porch.
It was a nice gift.
That's pretty badass. At this point, there's no show at all. We're just hanging out, which is really what I said this would be. We'd just be hanging out. Picked it up. Oh, you bought it on eBay. No shit. You bought an autographed my hat. That could be a fake. Unless the person who bought it from me said,
No, you did.
fuck it. That's bizarre. So you bought it on eBay.
You did.
Oh, I sold it on eBay. I did. I sold it on eBay. That's how I did it. So, see, what would I do without my wife? She's there. Some dumbass sold that on eBay. She's like, phew. And she didn't even say dumbass. But that's pretty badass right there. Hanging out. Here we go. That's it. The milk jug. That is so badass. And we still have that milk jug. Because I guess it's the kind of thing nobody would steal. But we really appreciate it. It's out there. Sometimes it holds brooms for us and shit upside down. So that's pretty amazing. I have the most amazing fans. I'm in a little bit of panic mode right now because the money's running out. I should be working my fucking balls off right now. Like I say, November should have been a big month for me. December, up and down all over the place. And then January, February, March, fucking busy season. Right now, nothing. But I refuse, even though I sold that autographed hat on eBay. That was one I spent $48 on, not one of these fucking $150 ones here. This is an amazing gift from a fan. It's a bobblehead me, and people want to buy these. And this one costs a fucking $100, crying out loud. So I can't sell those. And if you ever see me trying to auction off this bobblehead, don't let me fucking do it, because then I've really lost my mind. So there's that. Let's see. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein on pause to watch this. That's pretty amazing. Somebody paused a movie to watch me. That's amazing. There's a lot of pressure on me now. Feeling the pressure of competing with a paused movie. Fuck me. Oh, stuff to watch. I knew there was something I missed here. Where is it? This is hard to find. Killdozer. You heard it right. Killdozer. This is a movie about a demonic bulldozer that terrorizes people on the beach. You just can't make shit up like this. That's the great thing. That's your entertainment for the week right there. Who else is in the chat here? What do we got going here? Cousin Raymond, I'm Denny, the Dumb Dutchman. How you doing, Denny the Dumb Dutchman? Nice to see you.
Duel. The movie Duel.
Oh, another one I love, Duel. That's my wife said, Duel. I could go run and show you the thing, but and that's pretty amazing. That's just a big truck chasing a guy and wanting to kill him with the truck. And the guy's kind of a dick. You sort of root for the truck to get him eventually. I think that might be, that might be a Steven Spielberg film. Duel. That's a good one right there. Um, Sparky has not joined us,
She's
and as you can see, I'm not nearly as cute and adorable. But now cockatiel sitting right here. We have a peek in there.
another.
There. Thank you for another donation coming here. That's badass right there. Oh, on the other side, if you see the video, I got donated to me a podcasting microphone. It's called a Snowball, and they're kind of expensive, but I don't have a fucking computer to plug it into. But I do have the Snowball for eventual podcasting, and anytime I hear Snowball, I think of Full Metal Jacket when Sergeant Gunnery Hartman's yelling at the guy, "Private Snowball!" So that's gonna fuck me up whenever I try to podcast with my Snowball. A little more whiskey, that should help me out. Travel stories, man. New York. I could fill a book with awesome New York travel stories. Okay, so Shakespeare in the Park. I don't even remember what the show was, but it was a Stephen Sondheim production, and I actually saw Stephen Sondheim riding around in a golf cart outside the Delacorte. Is it Delacorte? Shakespeare in the Park. So that's badass. You can see celebrities. Well, you used to be able to see celebrities walking all around New York because they just kind of sort of blend in. I saw Louis Black up there walking around, Stephen Sondheim. I saw Jerry Seinfeld. I saw Robin Williams walking around up there. No real excitement there. Let's see. Am I a sipper or a gulper? On this, that's whiskey. I'm a sipper on that. The only thing I really gulp would be a Guinness because it's supposed to gulp the Guinness. I know there's more Broadway stories. Here's a couple. So I'm fucking awesome, especially when I have money. This Christmas is gonna fucking destroy me because I don't have money and I can't do the kinds of things for my family that I would like to do. That's on me. They're fantastic. It's not a thing. It's just a thing I gotta process. But back in my days of like traveling around and having to do 2 shows, I don't even take naps now. I would take an afternoon nap on a show day, and then my wife and daughter would just let me, relax and all that shit, and then I'd sleep, and then I'd get up, and I got up around 3 o'clock, and I said, okay, and they thought I was sleeping to go to one of my shows, and then I got up, and I said, all right, we got to get ready for the show. Get dressed. We're going to New York to see Footloose, and they lost their fucking minds because they thought I was taking a nap for my own show. Suddenly, driving up to New York because I'm badass. That's what I do. Well, that's what I used to do. Old, more successful me with money. That's what I used to do. Spring Awakening, back to Spring Awakening, the bass player, George, was badass. He had noticed that we were coming to the show too many times, and then he started, when we would walk in at the back of the theater, because he'd be on stage, dicking around and shit, he started to put up the number of times that we'd seen the show. So then when we got to like 10, he was like, and then we'd laugh because he was accurate. And then, embarrassingly enough, but remember, it's a $28 ticket. Like a year later, he'd be like, that was also accurate. Boy, I miss New York. I really do. Oh, this is why I married my wife, because things gross her out, and she has an amazing way of saying things that can possibly really upset me. Now, many people can't drive to New York and home again. I've got that all the time from people like, so you're going up to New York? Yes. How are you getting it? I'm driving. You are driving? Yes, I am driving. And I'm going to drive myself home. They're like, the same night? Yes, the same night. I'm driving myself home. So our daughter and I love fucking horror. Killer, murder, horror. And my wife liked some of it, but we had an audio horror book and there was fucking splatter in it and death and just really horrible shit. And we were coming home from New York show and my wife was getting grossed out by the story and she says this, while I'm driving, I was home from New York in traffic all around, she goes, I'm going to be sick if you don't turn this story off. That's fucking hilarious. Because you hear the sick part and then whatever. All right. I feel this is so weird because I feel like I shouldn't end this and I really have nothing to say. So, like I said, if you want to unclick and see the movie, I mean, what the fuck? Steven Sondheim, South. Oh, I don't know. The Stephen Sondheim South Park. I will have to track that down. I got nothing. I mean, should I sign off? Is that it? Are we done? Are we finished? Or are we just gonna hang out here all night?
How about the South Park Book of Mormon when you went into the audience?
Oh, that is amazing.
If you remember it.
Which one of the stories?
When you went to Book of Mormon and the usher said.
Oh, okay. Book of Mormon on Broadway, musical. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant comedy. That wound up going in the theater where Spring Awakening was. And again, our daughter somehow knew how to get cheap tickets. My daughter and I saw Book of Mormon on Broadway in previews from row F. That's a fucking $300 ticket in today's world. We paid $48 with a discount code. And when we got to the box office people knew me, but they didn't know what my tickets were, but they knew my name and everything. And they're, hey, how are you? Let's see how you did. And he leafed through and he pulled the tickets out. He's there, row F. He goes, how the fuck did you do that? All right. So the show is really fucking naughty language-wise. And then we walked into the theater, and the sweetest little old black lady usher that knew us from Spring Awakening was so happy to see me, and she hunched over, and she was trying to give me a hug, and she goes to me, she says, you will love this show. But I don't know about everyone else. I don't even know how that usher knew that I was that fucked up in the head, because I didn't really do any weird shit when I went to see Spring Awakening. I would just go and see the show, and that would be it. But somehow, she knew that I was nuts. Now, years later, because we are awesome parents, our daughter would get a ticket. We'd get her a ticket for like one thing. She saw fucking... Is it Hugh Jackman? Is that who it is? Mm-hmm. Hugh Jackman did it like a one-man show on Broadway. Tickets were ridiculous. I sound like I'm rich, but I had money in those days. In fact, I had a sold-out show in Harrisburg, and I texted her. I'm there. Yeah, get the ticket. It's fucking gold mine here. So she got a ticket. We went up. Daughter would go see the show, and we would walk around, and it says Hugh Jackman. And this is how fucking dumb people are. It said Hugh Jackman, one-man show, limited run. And somebody walked by in there, limited run. How can anybody pretending to be Hugh Jackman in a show have a limited run? It was really Hugh Jackman, you stupid fuck. That's who it was, for crying out loud. But that wasn't what that story was going to be about, was it? I don't know. So that's pretty amazing right there. I've seen, that's why this year of not being able to do a lot of shit, I don't feel that bad because we have got to do way more than most people get to do because I'm silly and I'm immature. TDF is what it is. TDF is an online ticketing site. It's the online version of the discount ticket booth up there. And you have to be in the entertainment industry or a student or a teacher or a veteran. My wife found this out. It's $28 a year. We gifted our grown-up daughter and her husband a TDF membership because they love New York for this past year, 2020. So if that's not a Christmas gift that sucks batshit balls, I don't know what it is. The key to TDF, though, is that stuff isn't on there all the time. It just pops up. It just fucking pops up out of nowhere. Like you gotta watch it obsessively. You check, log into TDF, and then you go, then you're coming home because we had like a 3-day run. I'm tired. I'm not leaving the house for like 9 days. And then we got home, and our daughter goes, "Oh my God, you won't believe what's on TDF." And I looked, and it was motherfucker with a hat. It was Chris Rock in a play, and he was fucking stupid because he didn't know he had to learn his lines either, like Bob Saget. And Bobby Cannavale, big motherfucker. Chris Rock is a little pipsqueak. He's like this big, and Cannavale is a fucking football player. And they had to wrestle in this fucking play and make it seem like Cannavale couldn't fucking crush his fucking skull. So we get to see motherfucker in a hat. And what was funny about all of that was at that time on Broadway, all the shows were really naughty. Fucking all of them. Book of Mormon, Spring Awakening, motherfucker with a hat. And we went up there, and our daughter was laughing. I'm like, "What's so funny?" She goes, "Well, the schools always bring the kids up for like the school musical. There's nothing to see. There is nothing to see that was fitting. The producers, maybe Springtime for Hitler, I don't know, but it was all fucking ridiculous shit." So I totally miss New York. Friend of mine, Frank, who's probably not in the chat because he knows me, he's heard all this shit before. He has us going up to New York forever. We saw Philip Glass Ensemble for $10, $15 tickets. We used to go see Einstein on the Beach and all this cool shit at the Brooklyn Academy of Music, which was in a really fucking scary neighborhood. It's really nice now, but you shit a brick to get fucking in there. And that's different kind of driving for New York. Like now, I don't drive in New York. When I go to the Port Authority parking deck there. But driving around Brooklyn and shit in a fucking scary neighborhood, I pulled into the Brooklyn Academy on the side, and a cab in front of me was really fucking mad, and he got out of his car because I had my turn signal on to go into this parking spot, and the fucker, he cock blocked me and I couldn't get in there, and I sat there like a dick. So instead of just moving up, he gets out of his car and starts yelling at me. He's standing in front of our car going, "I have no idea. I have no way of knowing what you are doing. I have no way of knowing what it is that you are doing." Well, I just wanted to go in this parking spot. But I, up there driving, I have no way of knowing what you are thinking. I think eventually I actually got the parking spot. I think is what happened there. And again, these are all fun things that will go in my book about adventures in New York. Brooklyn Academy of Music, again, couldn't afford any of these tickets. We got them on a fucking easy payment plan. Thank you, Frank. Meditation music, Philip Glass. You sit in and you groove on it. The interval. And the usher there was also. It sounds like I'm racist, but it's funnier if you know this is a very big, fucking strong black man that could have played football. He loved us. He had the biggest smile, and he'd ask us where you from in Pennsylvania and all this and that shit. And at the intermission, I said, well, he said, how you doing? I'm like, well, there's a guy next to me who won't shut up. And this is meditation music. And I thought the usher would go, you know, because he knew my seat, and he'd go say something to him. He goes to me, here's what you do. When he's talking, when the music's playing, say, shut the fuck up. See, these are the stories of my life. Brooklyn Academy of Music. Boom, roasted. We accidentally walked into a mafia pizza place when New York was packed, and there was nobody else in there but us, knuckleheads. And we're like, there's nobody in here. And then we sat, and we waited to get served, and we didn't get served, and we waited and we waited. And then a man came in with like a violin case, which we learned was like a fucking machine gun, and he just went right in the back room. He didn't sit down or nothing. There's no fucking way this guy worked there. And then the guy came out and he said, I'm sorry, we're closed. And because we are nitwits, we're there, oh, we just want a pizza. And then he went in the back room and complained. Then they said they can't get rid of him. Apparently the mob made us a pizza to get rid of us. Crying out loud. Dirty, rotten scoundrels. All right. That's amazing. If you watch Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, his brother-in-law in that show, Andy, I can't think of the actor's name. He's brilliant. He's funny. He's a big, stupid fuck. Dirty, Rotten Scoundrels was closing. And it wound up on TDF. And again, we're like, oh, fuck. So that's when you'd have to see it. When the show's closing, fucking the panic is real. So it appeared on TDF. And the cast had suddenly changed. People that were supposed to be in it weren't in it. And that guy was in the fucking show. And I didn't know it. I was losing my fucking mind. When I saw him, oh my God, he's really fucking funny. He's one of these guys that would inspire me. And then, because I'm a geek, we stage doored him. He walked up to me with this head. And I told him, I said, I can't believe you're in the show. I didn't even know you were in it. I'm sorry. The cast wasn't updated. And he didn't bat an eye. He goes, I loved you in Witness. That's my life. That's my fucking life. That's what we do. And that weird shit happens all the time. There's a... Oh, here's one. My wife asks for, like, nothing. Like, fucking nothing. I got it made in the shade. And she tells me stories of when she was little. One time they went to New York and they stayed over in a hotel. And we never fucking stay over. Because it's cheaper to drive home. So, whatever the service is that William Shatner was promoting to get deals on shit, we got a deal on a fucking gorgeous hotel. And fuck it, my wife asked for nothing. She wants to spend the night in New York. We'll go to a nice hotel, and then we'll see a show, and that'll be fantastic. So we had to take a cab from the hotel to, I think we were going to see Beauty and the Beast. That's how far back this is. And the cab driver was nuts. Nuttier than a fucking fruitcake. He was like Jekyll and Hyde. The traffic was terrible, but he was so sweet and charming. He says, so, are you going to see a show? And then traffic would piss him off. I will fucking kill you. I will rip your fucking balls off. Hey, that is very nice. So what are you going to see? Beauty and the Beast. I love that show. You fucking cocksucker. I will rip your fucking balls off. These people are my friends. They're going to see a fucking show. Get out of the fucking way. So you were staying for the whole weekend? No, just tonight. fucking true story. I like this hanging out. If I could do this instead of performing comedy, I'd fucking do it, man. That's it. Priceline.com. There it is. This was a very fancy hotel. Very nice. And that was a different time. I'm getting my stories mixed up here. Another time we went up, our daughter was doing an audition. We stayed overnight. My wife and daughter saw a show. Well, I had to drive back to Pennsylvania to do a show at a veterans club way the fuck out there. So I stayed overnight here, and then very late. Oh no, I came back to take a nap, and then Sparky got to eat Rice Krispies off me while I took a nap on the sofa. And then I went to my show, and after my show, I drove back to New York that night. And let me tell you something, man. At 10 o'clock at night, people driving to New York are really fucking drunk. I never go up that late. I'm usually at 10 o'clock. I'm there. They were all over the fucking road. I don't know how they fucking made it. Apparently, when you get really fucking drunk on a Saturday night, you go, fuck it, let's drive to New York. We got this shit. They really didn't. So, this head, I walk into the hotel. I don't think I had a key or anything. And you got to go through like a little security thing here. And they let me right through. And then I stopped and I said, what the hell kind of place is this? I said, excuse me? You let my wife and daughter are staying in this hotel. And you, security, let this head just fucking walk right through without asking me any questions or any ID. What the fuck? And then he laughed and then he asked for ID. I'm having a wonderful time. I like this. Show's like fucking 9 hours long. I don't think I will monetize this video. Let's see. Maybe this will be like an episode of Survivor where, like, it says there's 37 people in the chat. We'll just fucking stay here until they all drop. I don't really give a fuck because I'm having a ball. Let's see, John Lithgow. That's right. John Lithgow had left that show, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. That's who we thought was in there, but he wasn't. Another, I can't remember the name of this. If you peckerheads watch Dexter, Agent Lundy, an old bald guy that
Carradine? Somebody Carradine?
he's one of the kung fu guys. Yeah. Carradine. He's one of the kung something Carradine. I don't know. It's not the kung fu one, but it was one of the other ones. Brilliant actor, but also he's like an old man, and it drove me fucking batshit ball crazy that he had sex with Deborah Morgan on Dexter. But that's another story for another night. He was in a play in New York, and it's so weird to see somebody, like, you know, from a show that's fucking killing and all that shit, and they're on like on a Broadway stage singing and all that shit. And that was a dumb show. It was about a contest where people had to touch a truck for as long as they could, and then they'd win the truck. And he was one of the assholes touching the truck. And 15 of them started, and then they get ugly, and then they all fucking fight, and it gets hellish, and then they're like sort of nitwits. 15 people standing to touch a truck. And this went on for 30, 40 days in the play. And prior to this past year, I wouldn't think anybody was that stupid, but now it's all starting to make sense. And that's about as political as you'll get out of fucking me here. So we saw him. Who else did we see? We saw so many fucking people in New York.
Susan liked producers. With
The producers.
Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane. We saw the producers.
Steven.
What's that? Gaggle of times. Original cast. Again, I sound like a dick, but I know how to talk to celebrities. Matthew Broderick, Nathan Lane. We saw it in previews. Cheap. Drops mic. because our daughter knows how to get tickets. So, stage dooring. There's Matthew Broderick. I mean, fucking Ferris Bueller. Give me a fucking break. Nathan Lane. These are fucking big names. When people see them, they start talking stupid, like fucking nitwits. Matthew Broderick. This guy has a chance to get an autograph from Matthew Broderick, right? Or say something to him. Think about that for a second. You're meeting someone like Matthew Broderick. You have a chance to say one fucking thing to him. And that's it. And then you'll never see him again. And at Peckerhead, and it's awkward for Matthew Broderick because he wants to, go back to his life and sign autographs. He doesn't want to be a dick. So this guy's getting an autograph from Matthew Broderick, and he goes, "You're a lot shorter than I thought you were." And this was very awkward. And Matthew Broderick, he actually didn't even know what to say. And me, slamming right in there, said to the asshole who said that, Matthew Broderick is the tallest person on the street right now. And don't ever forget that. Then Matthew Broderick laughed, and the asshole went away in shame. That's what I do. I really need to wrap this up. That's Broadway has some amazing actors. They really do. You see people. It doesn't pay shit though. That's the problem with that. I told a Matthew Broderick story. Also, in the producers, I can't remember his name. Whoever played the German first, fucking brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And Nathan Lane was sick a lot, and that was a problem with him. He had health issues, and that guy, damn, I wish I could remember his name. Fucking so funny, laugh out loud funny this guy was. So he understudied Nathan Lane in the title role, Max Bialystok, and he was fucking brilliant. And he was such a big star that if you had a ticket to see him, and because he wasn't there, you could actually get your money back. They're like, oh, so and so is not playing the role. He fucking destroyed the room. He just destroyed it. Brad Oscar. Thank you, wife. That's why she is my wife, because she reminds me that it was Brad Oscar. So when Nathan Lane left, they decided to stunt cast the replacement, and we knew Nathan Lane was leaving, and I talked to Brad Oscar on the sidewalk. I'm like, dude, amazing. I hope you inherit the empire. And he liked that compliment. We didn't even get autographs. We just like to talk to people and shit. They stunt cast a fucking asshole. I don't know who he was, but he fucking sucked batshit balls. It was someone from TV. He couldn't sing. He couldn't act. And they gave him 2 weeks, and they got him the fuck out of there. And they gave it to Brad Oscar. Properly so. Had nothing to do with me. It was just a thing that happened in my life. There's still people in the chat, so who else do we see? I mean, we've been going up forever. We've been going up forever and ever. It's kind of cool. I'm live streaming people watching me drink.
You planned for me to dance with the rum tum tum.
Oh my God, my wife just remembered. Okay, so the thing you gotta know about me is I don't like ticket scalpers. And now StubHub and Ticketmaster have their own legal scalping. But our daughter was very little. We went to see Lion King. I would fucking push a car down the turnpike before I would buy a scalped ticket. So we got Lion King seats for the future. But we had nothing to see. And our daughter was ready to go see her very first Broadway show. So I did a lot of research, and Cats was the number one choice. So we're going to take our daughter to see Cats. I know it's an embarrassment now. And further embarrassment, upstairs where the cat is, I actually have a Cats Broadway musical poster autographed by the entire cast. So in that theater, there was a break in the orchestra, like a place where little mini stage and all that shit. And the Rum Tum Tugger was a slutty fucking cat, and he'd come out and he'd fucking grind and he'd fucking lap dance and all this shit, and he'd yank somebody from that fucking first row where the break was, and he'd lap dance them, and he'd have to get it up, and they'd slut it up. And when I saw that, I knew if I got those seats, that fucking slut cat motherfucker would slut it up with my wife, who wouldn't dream of doing a thing like that. But hey, it's Broadway, and our daughter's here, and we're having fun, and we got the seats, and the Rum Tum Tugger took the bait, and he slutted it up with my wife, and my wife danced with Rum Tum Tugger in Cats, in public, on fucking Broadway. I was a good date. I'm not now anymore, because we're stuck home, streaming live, but that was a good story. I'm losing everybody. I lost 4 people. That's a good sign. That means I should wrap it up sometime. Let's see. Have I had any hecklers at your stand-up shows? If so, oh, hecklers. This is Messiah of Kings. The hecklers. I've had hecklers, and those are different stories. But I also have the more recent problem isn't hecklers. It's that I'm a fast talker, and you have to really sometimes concentrate to get my show. I present my show that way, so drunken ass hecklers don't have a chance to yell stupid shit out. Like when you pause thoughtfully, that's when the fucking hecklers come in. That's a great question. So I don't have hecklers proper, but what I have is people that get drunk, and then I lose them. Then they start talking, and it gets really loud, and then I gotta fucking go nuts on them. I used to bang on them a lot, and I learned that the best thing to do is let the audience deal with it. So instead of making a dick out of them, which I was very good at, by the way, once you make a dick out of a heckler and it's funny, then it's hard to get back to your show, and then the audience can turn on you. I'm like, man, he was really fucking mean to that guy. Never mind that guy fucking up my show. So I get the audience to vote. You know, did you guys? It's real stupid shit. Look at your tickets. And what's this guy's name? Bill. Or, do you see Bill's name on the ticket anywhere? No. Bill. Apparently, people didn't pay to see you, so the audience, should Bill shut the fuck up, and they cheer, or you guys want to hear Bill speak, and then give him the microphone, and that usually sorted that shit out. That's a good question. Too many heckler stories to remember, but not so much heckling anymore, but loud talkers. So, good question. Let's see. Somebody recall. Keith says, I recall a show in Falston where a drunk kept trying to out-talk you. I'm happy I don't remember that story. That's all I can say. I don't deny it. But I've had a few already. When I produced my own shows, some of the first shows over the Days Inn Conference Center, these were big crowds, and 600-700 people, $20 a ticket. Man, did I have fucking money in those days. I miss those days hardcore. Somebody got so drunk, a girl, and she came up on stage and she actually took my microphone, right? That's got some fucking brass balls on them. A drunken woman is tougher to deal with A guy you can call security and they'll just beat the fuck out of him. But dealing with a drunken woman is a little trickier. It's a more sensitive situation. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I did have to have her removed. Now, the interesting part of that story is she was sitting right in the front, and her date did not leave with her. So I went fucking nuts on him. I'm there. Look, you left your wife or girlfriend come up on my stage and be a fucking drunken asshole, and you watched her get thrown out. And you sit there and you look happier than you've probably been in the last fucking 10 years. You fucking owe me. You fucking owe me because she's a fucking pain in the ass and I got rid of her. What kind of fucking crazy woman is that you marry that she gets thrown out and you don't fucking go with her? That's a great question there, and thanks for sending me back into therapy. Peek in here. Fuck me. When I had weird shit happen to me at shows, and I come home, I really didn't want to talk about it. My wife would be like, "How was the show?" And I'd be like, "Fine. It was fine. Everything was fine. Why did you ask? Everything was fine." Almost like she fucking knew, because you really don't want to relive it. That sucks. Many comedians' careers have been destroyed because they snapped when they were being heckled. And I feel bad for him. Kramer from Seinfeld, he went nuts. And he let out he was working. And when you're working and you're doing what you're doing, and people are yelling shit out, there's no protocol. It's easy to look at the tapes and go, "Oh, well, he should have said, and he should have said." That's fucking bullshit. Because when we're performing, that's our Super Bowl, and there's the adrenaline's going, and the ball's flying, and we reach up and grab it. We don't know how to behave. He said he dropped an N-bomb, and it destroyed his fucking career. And it was sad, and it happened, and so I never wanted that shit to happen. I actually went to see, not like a shrink, I went to see like a therapist, to help channel anger, so I wouldn't go fucking Kramer on my audience. And what I did this is such a great question. I should have saved this for like my Patreon chat. When I go on stage, I don't have to do it anymore, but I went into like a Harry Potter, Albus Dumbledore kind of thought process, where if the Death Eaters came from me, I would just kind of turn into Dumbledore. He never got fucking mad about anything. Death Eaters would come, fucking horrible shit would come, and he'd be like, "Would you like a raspberry sweetie?" That's the zone you need to be in. I'm so fucking out of stories, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stream the whole rest of my fucking life till the pandemic's over or till the whiskey's over. I'm not even drunk. It's only like a half a glass of whiskey, and it's all ice cubes. Let's see. Eddie Lane, do you remember the night the bottom cord dropped out of your mic in Harrisburg Comedy Zone? Yes, I do. And I have that recorded, and it's one of my most favorite things. I don't know if you were there. Eddie Lane must have been there. When you first start out in stand-up comedy and shit goes wrong, it's the worst fucking thing. When you first start out, if you have a microphone and the cord falls out, you might as well just shit in your pants and ask someone to change your diaper. But later on, when you have 25 years under your belt, you kind of almost hope that weird shit will happen. And I was in Harrisburg, love the club, I was just there. Audiences are fucking fantastic down there. I'm hooting and hollering. And the microphone cable fell out of the fucking microphone. I don't know how that's even possible. They have a snap. They fucking hard click in there, and it fucking fell. and nobody could hear me, and I pretended like everything was fine. So I was like, and I just went with it, and then I just started saying nothing but mind me. I said, another thing, them fucking Mennonites. And then I was doing weird shit with like the cord and the microphone and like all kind of slutty shit that didn't make any sense at all. It's actually quite embarrassing. I think I was doing lewd things with the microphone and the cord, and then I plugged it back in, and that's what happened there. Thank you for that nice memory, Eddie Lane. Let's see, what else? I have a video. Oh, you were sitting by the stage. All right. Those seats, that's too close, dude. Thanks for buying those seats. I think they cost more. And now, when you buy them at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone, there's a section actually where they charge extra for comedians to make a dick out of them, which I didn't really know. But hey, fuck me in a bucket of goo. But that's a great club. I was just down there. Again, not to make everything about money, that's a big fucking money club for me. And because of what's going on right now, I just kind of sort of did enough to make my landlord happy for another month. That's a great club. Let's see. What's your favorite memory of Bearman? Oh, man. That's a big question. There's probably not a day goes by in my life where I don't feel some Bearman power coming through. What Bearman did for me over my career, there's no way to fucking thank him. What Bearman did for me was he taught me how to not acknowledge my mistakes. Like if I was on stage and I would fuck up a joke and then I would go beat myself up. Motherfucking asshole, fucking shit, fucking brains, I fucked that joke up. And the motherfucker in the Bearman would be like, listen, you're the only one who knows that you fucked that up. So if you don't tell them, they will never know. That's a thing he did for me. Plus, somehow he made it so for however many years I wouldn't get fired off the radio even though I never got fucking paid. That's a fucking big, tall question. When my book comes out, there's going to be a fucking Bearman and Keith chapter because they've been there forever. And the owners, the bosses would roll over every fucking couple of years. And then I would come in on schedule and the Bearman would go, you're welcome here. I'm not trying to upset you or anything, but we have all new bosses. We haven't even met them yet. And just take it back a notch. Crank it back a notch. And also, we're not saying the word peanut butter today because then I'd say, okay, that's fucking weird. But can you tell me why we're not saying peanut butter? Because one of the new bosses' son works in a peanut butter factory and he fell into 500 tons of peanut butter and peanut buttered himself to death. So we're just not, and I'm making this story up, but it's just an example of, because my wife's over here gasping. That's the beauty of her. She believes every dumb shit I tell her. This is just an example. So we're just not saying peanut butter out of respect for the fallen owner's son, or boss's son's horrible death in the vat of peanut butter. I got it. And then it's a terrible thing to tell me not to say something because I gotta fucking say it. So we go on the air. I brought you chocolate donuts and I wanted to bring you peanut butter, but apparently there's a shortage. Fucking Bearman.
There's a question. Do you like Lord of the Rings? Have you seen the movies or read the books?
Lord of the Rings, I've seen the Lord of the Rings movies a while ago and I can't remember them. I should read them now, but they're really fucking big, and I got obsessed with the Wheel of Time books, and also the guy who finished them, Brandon Sanderson, has Stormlight, archives and all this other cool shit. So someday I might read them, but I don't know. The only thing I remember about the Lord of the Rings movies is somebody was really worried about. Do you think he knows about second breakfast? I gotta have second breakfast. I don't think he knows. I don't think he understands on this trip that we should stop for second breakfast. Do you think he knows about second breakfast? I don't think he knows. That's what I remember from Lord of the Rings. And I don't think he got second breakfast. What's in here? I feel like I should end this. Should I end it?
I don't know. Do you like hot sauce? Somebody said.
Do I like hot sauce? I do like hot sauce. See, that's the sign that I should end this, because someone says, do you like hot sauce? And I say, yes, I like hot sauce, and I don't have anything funny to. Yes, I do. There's a funny story in New York. Again, we're going back a long, long time ago. My wife and our friend Frank went to New York, and we went to a restaurant, and they both liked hot food. I didn't really like hot, spicy thing then. My wife ordered the exact same thing as Frank, with the exact same spice. Frank was eating this, and he was melting. His face was dripping. He was ready to fucking burst into flames. And my wife's eating the same thing, same spice. And this really pissed off Frank, because he's a very nice guy, amazing guy, but also a little competitive. And this sort of bothered him that my wife, my date, was spooning in this death fire flame food like it was fucking cotton candy, and he was over there fucking melting like the witch in fucking Wizard of Oz that had a bucket of water thrown on her. And they swapped dishes, and his was way fucking hotter than hers. It was established, and then when we got the bill, they wrote on his like very hot, and like 9 fucking capital things of red, and hers was just hot. I don't know why it happened, but it did. Again, that's not really funny enough for my show, but hanging out here in my living room, it'll be fucking good enough. Second breakfast, there it is. Holy shit. Still 27 viewers. You motherfuckers. Look, it's up to 30 now. Well, okay. I either need more stories or more questions. Let's see. You also don't know about me is I write all the time. I try to. Shit isn't that funny. Sometimes when I write it down, this is during this pandemic, I've gone through like, I've filled up like fucking 10 notebooks. I can't even believe it. I have here stories from my eventual book. Some fun shit there. And now when I'm trying to broadcast live, that's a great cover. But there's nothing really funny in this book yet, alright? So there's that. Let's see. Boom. Boom. Oh. This isn't even comedy, but I power write. The thing about writing is that, you know, some secrets here. And again, this isn't, I'm probably not even going to leave this episode up. We're just hanging out. I'm having a great time. I love talking about me because I'm such a dick. One of the greatest books I ever got is called Writing from Both Sides of the Brain. And it's an amazing book. It's around the corner here somewhere. What it does is, if anybody who's writing, track it down, writing from both sides of the brain. What it wants you to do is split your brain into a creative, fun side that doesn't care if things are spelled right or proper punctuation or if anything makes sense, you just fucking go. It's Ariel and Caliban. That's what it is. Caliban's the fucking dick, and Ariel, and we all battle when we're trying to create. Caliban comes in there. That's spelled wrong. That's not funny. That's not the proper pronunciation. This is fucking awful. Then Ariel writes like a fucking lunatic and doesn't care. So Ariel has to yell at Caliban, would you shut the fuck up and let me write this? And then when I'm done writing it, you may have it, and then make a dick out of me and fix up whatever the fuck you want to fix. So that's very helpful for me writing. And I wrote, for no apparent reason, about marijuana because I've always been a fan of marijuana. I can't hardly even smoke bothers me because I got to worry. I speak for a living and all that. But people who are afraid of marijuana crack me the fuck up because that's what the rant is about that I wrote. Because people think it's a gateway drug to harder things. What marijuana is a gateway drug to softer things, not fucking harder things. It mellows you out. It relaxes your nerves. It's a gateway to sitting on the fucking sofa. And that's what fucking pisses me off. How stressed out people are veterans, people with PTSD. If I said that wrong, I apologize. It's to fucking chill you the fuck out. That's what it is. It will remove a lot of the fucking hate and anger from you. It's more of a everything's kind of fucking funny thing. So there's a whole big rant about that. And in my rant about marijuana, I wrote that nothing in here is funny enough to perform now, and yet here I am. But I grew up in the hippie days where cops didn't want to arrest people for marijuana because it was embarrassing. However jealous you want to be, you should be that jealous. Clee, my friend Clee, and sisters in the chat here, we smoked too much marijuana in the parkway, and the police would catch us, and the cop would yell at us, and he would take our marijuana from us and say, don't smoke this shit in here during my shift. I get off at 6 o'clock every fucking day. You can come back at 7 o'clock and smoke all the fucking pot you want in the parkway. But weekdays till 6 o'clock, I don't want you fucking assholes in here smoking marijuana because I'll have to arrest you and write it up, and the other cops will make a dick out of me going, see, you busted a couple of fucking pot-smoking criminals there. Well done. I miss those days. That's true. That's what Clee's sister's in there. I call you Clee's sister. The cop probably smoked it also. Yeah, that would also explain why he didn't give it back to us. Think about that. If you got caught with marijuana and the worst thing was the cop just fucking took it, that's kind of a bargain. But I don't know. Anymore, it might be so expensive if the cop took it. Like, fuck, I'd rather be arrested and pay the fine. Just don't take this shit. 420 Blaze. We don't want to talk marijuana here now because this is all being recorded. Fuck me in a bucket of goo. Sparky's sleeping. 30 people in the chat. This has been going on for like fucking 9 hours. Holy shit. Let's see. Eddie Lane's in there. Eddie Lane, let me tell you something. I love you, but you're a fucking goater. That's what you're doing. You are goading me in to doing a fucking 19-hour show. And I see what kind of fucking bullshit. You've been a long-time fan. You've been to shows you know fucking shit that other people don't know. And just when I'm ready to go, oh, Eddie Lane comes in. Oh, I remember the F-bomb choir. Oh, I remember the fucking microphone falling out of fucking Harrisburg. Yeah, motherfucker, that's fucking playing dirty. I want to fucking end this sometime.
You said you took a knee and bowed to them.
What did I do?
Took a knee and bowed to them after that. F-bomb choir?
I took a knee. I did. I have bowed to the F-bomb choir already. I miss the F-bomb choir. I got people. Did I tell you this one about the F-bomb choir? And they might be with me on some of these shows. I did some, like I say, summer suck batshit balls. When our daughter moved down and got her own apartment a couple years ago, we were sad. We love our daughter. Parents go, get the fuck out of her. Not us. You're like, whoa, what are we gonna do? I took my wife along to every fucking hell gig. I would never take her to these shows. She went to pig roast, and she went to fucking porch parties, and she went to all these fucking shows with me. I did a private party at a lake in the scary fucking mountains, and we did F-bomb choir out by a lake. Family get together. I wish I could remember that fucking guy's name. They built a fucking Amish statue and a stage for me and all that shit. And I started up the F-bomb choir, and they're like, and they stopped me. I'm like, what do we have, neighbors and rules now? What is the problem here? They said, no, if we all turn the other way, it echoes across the lake. And it did. And we turned 50 people, and we went, whoa! And it fucking rippled across. It must have been, it's probably still going across fucking Pennsylvania right now. And we F-bomb fucking choired, and that, I think that's fucking recorded. Fuck me in a bucket of goo. Let's see. Donations still popping here. I appreciate that very much. You guys are amazing. Like I say, this is fucking weird. When I first went into panic mode back in March, I envisioned like 3 different kinds of live stream. On live stream 1, I would try to perform stand-up comedy. On a different night, stories from my eventual book. On the third stream would be like the me and Sparky show, where I voice her and she just makes a dick out of me all night long. She doesn't really. There it is. That's Steve Berlin. I remember that. There's the name right there. That is the fucking name. Stephen Berlin in the fucking chat is the F-bomb choir lake party. That's amazing. That's proof that this shit that I tell you really fucking happened. Fucking amazing. Holy shit. I think this has been the best podcast yet. I'm having a ball. That's it. See, that's an interesting thing too. The podcast is going to be tricky. I might be a dick and try to take some of the audio out of these live streams for my podcast. And again, you fuckers that are still in the chat sort of pissing me off, because I will go for fucking ever and fucking ever and fucking ever. Let me tell you how much I love my fans. You fuckers who got me through, and my wife, through the pandemic. Absolutely. You have forced me to continue to try to write comedy, try to present comedy, even if it sucks. I'm still trying. I think a lot of comedians didn't fucking do anything, and when they get back on stage, they'll be like, oh, I don't know. When I get back on stage, I talk about streaming fucking live, and that's what's going to happen. That's what I did in Harrisburg. So you peckerheads, I mean that in a nice way. And I'm also trying to make money, but this has been a politically free zone. But let's be serious for a fun moment here. None of us were prepared to go through this fuck storm of a year. None of us. I don't know how we fucking did it. We all deserve a shot of fucking whiskey. This is weird fucking shit. You folks have been amazing. The weeks that I don't stream, I actually miss it. And because I'm sitting right now, okay, this is new, because I'm tired and I'm fucking out of shit. And I'm really having a lot of fun. Sparky gets really worked up right around 7, because I start moving the chairs around and putting the curtain, And because this chair that I'm sitting in should be on the other side of the fucking curtain, and the microphone should be here, and Sparky's cage is right there. She was on the corner of this cage at 7, and she was looking at the chair and looking at the setup, and she was, this is Sparky, she's going, this is really fucking weird. You're on your own tonight. Then she went to the back of her fucking cage and hid behind a fucking rope. Sparky knew. That fucking bird was smart enough to know that this setup I have tonight is fucked up and probably not going to work. And on some level, she was correct. So going back to, since nobody's leaving, and I'll just keep streaming possibly until Thanksgiving, this place that we're in is very humble, but we love it. There's no money in comedy. I'm not a fucking shithole in this town here. And Sparky, we've had forever. And our amazing daughter, Sparky was little, she taught a bird that can fly how to go up steps. It's fucking absolutely amazing. She would go and just hop up a step. What's a flight of steps? Like fucking 17 steps? Foomp, she go up. Foomp, she go up. Foomp, she go up. So we always read to our daughter, I never said no to books. Never. Books are fucking amazing. I spent way too much fucking money on books. When it was nighttime, I would read to our daughter. And I know school teachers that's the piss and moon and said, this kid could be so much smarter if the parents would only fucking read to their kids at night. Sparky would want to be in on story time. She'd know we went up for story time, and she'd beep, 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 fucking screaming, and we'd have to get her to come hop, hop, hop up fucking steps for story time, and Sparky was always in on story time. I don't have the slightest idea what the point of that story was, but it was somehow related to Sparky. But this bird has been... Oh, I know what it was. Back in hell, I called it hell. Sparky's cage was in a room, much like it is now. And then the kitchen was like right there. Then if we were talking in the kitchen, she would hear us and go fucking nuts. And she's not really in her cage. She has free reign. The cage door is open in the morning. She can pretty much do whatever the fuck she wants. She would hear us and touch beep, 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 which meant either come back in here with a party or come in here and fucking get me and bring me into the party. So if we didn't listen, Sparky would fly into the kitchen and fly 2 laps around our heads and do like a surveillance flight, right? And then she'd be fucking gone. Then she'd go back, catch her breath and regroup, and she would fly back in and land on the head that she fucking remembered, the biggest one, mine. Surveillance flight, first, take a rest, come back in, fucking land on that head. Again, my stories don't really have a point or an end to them. Still, 34 people in the chat. Yogurt, Sparky has a friend, Cockatiel Yogurt, Miss Sparky. Us two, I have no control over Sparky, time change and all that shit. Oh my god, my battery is low on streaming. This might have to end. Hang on, wait. Low power mode. Alright, if I take that off now, you probably can't fucking hear me. Although that might be a time to wrap it up. Alright, folks, the powers that be that are going to end this fun night is that the battery on my iPhone is fucking dying. So we have a couple of options here. I can just pull the plug on this fucking thing, or we can just sit here until the battery runs out. Now, we might have noticed that I've slumped way down in my seat. So there, that's better. I am totally going to wrap this up. I love you guys so much. Stay safe. Sparky, are you going to make an appearance? Where is she?
I don't know where she is. She's on the shelf.
Sparky, I know you're pissed off, but here, the fans want to see you. There she is. She's mad because she's tired, but she says hello to Yogurt if she could.
She says Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. That's a good one. Stay safe. Hang in there with me. And happy Thanksgiving. Don't shop on Black Friday on fucking Thanksgiving Day. I fucked that joke up, but I'm tired and I'm going. I've had so much fun tonight, but I sort of wish this battery would just fucking die now. I'm also curious to see how long this fucking live stream was, because this is some weird shit here. Let's see. Exit stage left. That's a good idea. Oh, she went back. She actually went. See, someone said exit stage left, but she actually fucking left to my right. You see how fucking weird this is? You saw it stage left, but she actually went to the right, and that's what I have to deal with. I am going to turn this fucking thing off. I love you. Happy holidays, and get your fucking tickets for Steel Stacks December 11th, because they're going fast.